Now at the 47th frame here, I would like him to turn around to walk up the next incline. So what I need to do is, instead of just inserting a frame here, I'm going to insert a keyframe, and I'm just going to choose all. Okay, that will fill the keyframe with the Hulk. And what you need to do, what I need to do here, is to right-click and split this motion. That's telling Flash that I'm starting a new idea, because what I want him to do is to turn around here. So I'm going to choose him on the 47th frame, and then modify, transform, and flip him horizontally. Now I need to split the motion first, because if I don't do that, Flash will assume that that flip is part of the entire earlier motion tween, and so the Hulk will very slowly flip over the course of these 47 frames, which is not what I want. I want him to flip in the space of that one frame. Okay, and then I simply repeat the process again. I'm moving him a short distance, so I'll just move ahead a few frames, insert the frame, make sure I'm at the last frame, move him along, and then up the incline. Again, it's about the same distance, so I'll go ahead about 20 frames, and then insert a frame there. Go up the incline. And then at this point, I'd like the Hulk to jump over this crate and land on these logs here. So I'll introduce a new idea. I'm going to do the same sequence again. I'm going to insert the frame, and I'm going to put the Hulk where I'd like him to end up. Okay, as you can see, the motion path isn't really satisfying for a jump. It's not going to look like a jump at all. And if we watch that, we can see that. He's just kind of walking in air through the crate. So, with my black arrow still as my cursor, if I hover over top of that motion path, I can actually bend it to become a curve. And a jump would kind of look something like this. Okay, because my viewer is on 77th frame, we see him there in the path. If we go back, you can watch that jump. Okay, and you'll notice that his legs are still walking as he goes through that jump. Because we're using the animated PNG as our instance on the stage, his legs will just keep moving for as long as he's on the stage. What I'd like him to do now, though, is to stand on the logs. And so I can't use this same graphic because his legs are just going to move and he'll be stationary with his legs walking through the cycle. So here I need to right click and insert a blank keyframe. That's going to give me an empty frame to work with. And what I'm going to do is go back to my library and pick one of these bitmaps that make up my walk cycle, and I'm just going to try and find one that looks like he's standing. This one he looks like he's standing at the ready, so I'll drag this onto my blank keyframe and just kind of approximate where he was standing. And because I flipped my other graphic horizontally, I need to do the same with him. And then I'm just going to move between the 80th and 81st frame to make sure I'm kind of in the right place. Okay, that looks good. So he'll stand motionless for this one frame. I'd like him to stand there for 9 frames. So I'll move to the end of the timeline and then just insert a frame there. It's gray because we have no motion going on, therefore we don't need a motion tween. And now let's watch the entire sequence.
Ain't no monster clown who is as lovable as ever loving home.
There you go. If you feel at any point that your motion is too fast or too slow, you can always go and subtract frames from between 2 keyframes. I felt like he's going a bit slow here, so I'm going to go between the 2 keyframes and maybe just take these 2 frames out. So I'll right click and remove these frames. And he should walk faster now on that level ground. And you can also kind of get a hint at the speed by looking at the entire path and seeing how spread out the individual frames are on that motion path. These look pretty equivalent now. And he slows down a bit here to prepare for the big leap. So when you want to create a tween, you simply put your character on a keyframe, move down the timeline, insert a frame, make sure you're at the end of your layer, and move your character to where you'd like them to be after you've right-clicked and created a motion tween.